So, hey guys, it's Ryan here from Thompson Meteorite Collection, and I'm going to show you today some cutting of some meteorites. These guys here, I have a few different types. These ones over here are Suricho. They are a Pallasite meteorite. These guys over here are going to be unknown. They're kind of, we think they're chondrites. So we're going to open them up and see them. And then over here, we have a piece of Becker Howardite. So from the Becker region, this was collected. It's a pretty big chunk, and we're going to see inside. They're usually really pretty, so I'm excited to see it. So we're going to be opening up here first is a piece of the ordinary chondrite, or likely an ordinary chondrite here. So we're going to walk it through the saw. Obviously, the best thing to do here, if you're new at cutting meteorites, is light pressure. We don't really want to force the material into the blade, more letting the blade take the material away from the saw. So as we're doing that, light pressure through it, keeping our fingers obviously well clear of the spinning finger removers, and, working just towards that end of it. Now, at the end, you might get a little notch, kind of clean that piece up there. But yeah, we're going to take a peek inside it right now. So we have a chondrite. It's pretty obvious. If you've handled meteorites for a while, chondrites are very easy to spot. They're um, the round circular dots that are inside of it. You can see them here. Usually you get a little bit of a metal flash. This one definitely has less iron than some, but you can see kind of on the upside here. Uh, Pretty decent looking chondrule. Trying to get the focus out on it there. We'll get a little zoom in. Ah, that's much better. Okay, cool. So as you can see, very obviously a chondrite. We can see there's a nice large chondrule kind of right there off to the side. Beyond that though, this is kind of an unremarkable chondrite. It doesn't have a lot of metal. Some do. Maybe the next one that we cut into here will. So let's give that guy a shot as well. So I want to point out on this one, we do have a little bit of remnant fusion crust. These are weathered, obviously collected in Northwest Africa, so these stones have a little bit of weathering on them, but we're going to go through, see if we can get maybe a little bit more metal. I'm hopeful on this one. Truthfully, the stone felt a bit heavier, so I'm using an MK303 blade on this. So I find that they cut through like butter. It's a very, very thin blade, so you got to really watch your pressure as you're cutting through it. But with the right, amount of pressure, they seem to walk through meteorites. As you get into some more metal, that becomes a little bit more of a challenge, but you got to read your blade. And the high-tech diamond motor really does a great job of cutting through this. So let's take a peek at the inside. Far more metal on this one. You can definitely see the flash. Okay, so zooming in here, you can see the glimmer, and this is kind of what really defines maybe more along the lines of a higher iron or an H chondrite. But this one again is very weathered. You can kind of see like the crumbliness around the outside edge, but at the same time, with the right amount of pressure, this rock didn't explode. So, we did well getting through it. Definitely a chondrite. Space rocks come in all sorts. This is obviously a pretty common type, but yeah, saw it in, shoot that away. So it's a good day in my books. Yeah, you can definitely see the metal there. So, and yeah, definitely, it's definitely some nice grain. So it'll polish up nicely. Okay, moving on. We're gonna get to the star of the show. This is the Pallasite meteors. This is Suricho. It has a very weathered exterior. These come from Kenya. They've sat out in the elements for thousands and thousands of years. They are now mined and collected, and I have a supplier that sends me them. So I get a lot of Suricho material. Gives me a great opportunity to show you guys what's exactly like inside of them. There are sometimes small inclusions of olivine, so I'm hopeful that we'll get some really good shots of olivine here. It's set in an iron nickel matrix, so you'll see it'll be nice and shiny once we get this opened up here. But yeah, safety first. We always want to make sure that we're wearing the proper PPE when we're cutting. Get that saw going. Have good, a good hold on it. You don't want this to slip out of your hand as you're cutting. Obviously, that would make a very bad day. Um, but like I say, with the high-tech diamond 6-inch saw, it really does perform extremely well with this material. I can't say enough good things. Obviously, having a company within North America, I'm in Canada, they're in the States, but not having to deal with support issues going overseas. I had an issue with a part, they had it overnighted basically to me in Canada. It's amazing how fast these guys work. So again, I can't speak high enough about them. Use the code TMETS on the checkout, TMETS, and you will get 10% off your order. So a little bonus for you guys for checking it out here. But yeah, inside here, you're going to see that beautiful nickel iron inside. Now, you get the silicate, which is shown as olivine here. Um, but that flash is all iron nickel. And it is stunning once you get the polish onto it. I use the high-tech 8-inch lap, so I'm going to spend some time later on working this down to a mirror finish. Um, that's when they really shine. These can actually, the olivine crystals inside here can be extracted. People use acid on it to melt them down, get the olivine out. If it's not fractured, which is kind of hard to find sometimes, they can actually be faceted down like a diamond, which is pretty amazing. So, it may, if space is your life, like it's my life, maybe one day instead of wearing a diamond, you wear a piece of space olivine. I don't know. Whatever, you value in your life, right? So these actually look really pretty. I'm very happy with the way this turned out. I'm going to give you guys one last chunk here. This is a piece of Howardite. So again, it's from the Bekaa region of Algeria. This is from a known strewn field, so it is linked to the Bekaa '08 Howardite fall. Howardites are a piece of Vesta. So when we cut this open, we're going to see a mix of all sorts of bits and pieces of Vesta's crust. Um, they're beautiful on the inside. Same thing, usually gets taken down to slices. This is a fairly large stone, so you're gonna have to see me walk this through the blade a little bit. Um, as I'm doing this, I'm rolling it into the blade. Um, I do have a bigger saw. I don't, want to have to pull it out at all times. So I've, developed techniques to finish my cuts. But a 10-inch saw probably would have been a little bit better. I would have lost a little bit more in the kerf, so the thickness of the blade. A 10-inch blade is obviously going to be a little bit thicker than a 6-inch blade is going to be. But these MK303 blades with the continuous rim on them are fantastic for cutting meteorites. I have used CBN blades as well. Just make sure that when you're shopping for this saw, you're going to get something with a 5/8 inch arbor. So you want to make sure you get the right blades. But the great thing with this is you can use any blade you want as long as it has a 5/8 inch arbor. So um, get the cut through, we rolled it. Hopefully we didn't, come off center, but this is where the grind after can correct if you did make the mistake. But fortunately, on this one, I did get it pretty close. So looking at it here, I'm going to open this up. It has a nice dark interior matrix that people just go crazy for with the Howardite. So you get all sorts of really nice colorful cloths on the inside. Again, it's kind of hard to really get the true beauty of these stones off the saw because the magic happens in the polish, but there'll be more videos for that. So I'm very happy to keep bringing you guys along for the ride. This is a piece of Howardite. This is Vesta's crust. Little bits of diagonite clasts and, the HED clan of meteorites. This would fall under the H, the Howardite, HED, Howardite, Eucrite, diagonite. So, thank you guys for checking us out today. Again, I'm kind of putting a little series together on Thompson Meteorite Collection. You can check me out on Facebook. And again, if you want to get some of the equipment you've seen in this video, feel free, use TMETS as your checkout code. You'll get a little discount. Everyone likes saving money in the Lapidary world, so you can buy more space rocks. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy checking out what I do. I love it. I love cutting things open. I love seeing the inside. High-tech diamond makes it really easy to do it right. So thanks, guys.